Hello and welcome to the United Stand. If the unthinkable happens this summer and David De Gea was to leave Manchester United, who are the top 5 replacements for what is and has been a Manchester United legend over the last few years? Before we get into the top 5, as voted for by you, there's a few interesting ones in there. Let's get up to date with the situation with De Gea and what it is at the moment. Manchester United wanting to sign a new contract. Jorge Mendes is his agent, the same agent as Jose Mourinho. But these contract talks will not take place until May, as De Gea wants to see what the situation is with Manchester United. There's two big factors. Real Madrid their president wants a Spanish goalkeeper in goal for Real Madrid. There is no better Spanish goalkeeper in the world than David De Gea. He's a local lad. They want him and they're going to go for him hard again this summer. The second factor is Jose Mourinho. Same agent as De Gea, but he has said if De Gea wants to go back to Madrid, he will not stand in his way. And he's been quite consistent about that with many players. And it's an interesting time for Manchester United because we're even getting links that Zlatan might want to go to LA now. So instead of 2 or 3 signings this summer, we might be looking at 3, 4 or 5 if we lose De Gea and Zlatan. It will all take place in May. And ultimately, if De Gea wants to go, he wants to go. He's been absolutely fantastic for us. And if he does go, it's going to be very important about how we replace him. So here we go with the top 5 replacements for David De Gea if the unthinkable was to happen. And I really hope it won't, but I'll give you a little bit more about my thoughts on that in a moment. In at number 5, it could have been Kasper Schmeichel. It was very close, but you get what you're given. Sergio Romero is in at number 5 as a replacement for David De Gea. 6'3", 30 years of age and already at the club. Is he a replacement for David De Gea? I personally don't think he is. I think he's a decent reserve goalkeeper. He's a good international goalkeeper, as proved with Argentina. However, I don't think he has the skills to be a Premier League goalkeeper. He struggles to catch a slow-moving balloon. He never catches crosses. Any shot at him, he palms it away. And I think consistently, if you played him consistently, in the Premier League, he would cost you a lot of goals. He's a decent backup goalkeeper and he'd be decent on the continent, but not as a British Premier League goalkeeper. We saw it at the start of last season when there was that contract wrangle with De Gea and Van Gaal, and he played the first games of the season and he cost us 3 points at Swansea with 2 mistakes. Backup keeper, fine, every now and again, but I think if you play him week in, week out, he's going to cost you a lot of points. And we need better than that at Manchester United. In at number 4, I like this one. I always say that you are the United Stand and you, the viewers, and your opinions are always second to none. Jordan Pickford in at number 4. Many of you might not have heard of him. A lot of those who voted have. He's 23 years of age. He's playing for Sunderland at the moment. He's not suffering from a bad back, which is quite surprising because he is playing for David Moyes. He has been collecting the ball out the back of the net a lot, but he's been very busy, and whilst he's been busy, he has impressed a lot of people. Even Pep Guardiola is quite interested in him. He wants more English players at the club, and Pickford is on his list. Is he good enough for Manchester United? He's a traditional goalkeeper. He likes to come for crosses. He's a decent shot stopper. His ball distribution's not fantastic, but he will get better and better. And many people think that he will be the best goalkeeper in England within the next couple of years and for the next decade. So why would you not consider that sort of player? In fact, if they get relegated, he's not going to cost that much anyway. He's going to probably cost around £15 million. The question mark is whether he is good enough. The question mark is if he is good enough for Manchester United at this moment in time. And I would suggest that it may well be a little bit of a risk. He's 6'1", like I said, he's just turned 23. I think there's better out there, and I think this is the big theme I want to get through with this. We're replacing David De Gea, who I always said, I prefer De Gea to Neuer, so that makes him the best goalkeeper in the world. Even if you don't, it makes him the second best goalkeeper in the world. We've got to replace him with somebody who has the potential or is very close to that, and at the moment, Pickford wouldn't be there for me. In at number 3, somebody who's been consistently mentioned as Manchester United as a replacement for David De Gea, Hugo Lloris. Very good goalkeeper. I think he is currently one of the best goalkeepers in the world, so he fits into that category. However, he is 6'2", and he is 30 years of age, I believe. Yes, but he has a contract till 2022. He's currently Spurs. Is he their captain? He's certainly a first teamer for Spurs. Plays week in, week out. They are going to get Champions League football this next season coming up as well. Again, why would he leave Spurs is the question mark. And if he did leave Spurs, knowing Daniel Levy and knowing how long that contract is that he's just signed, he's going to cost around £40 to £50 million. And this is my issue with it. There is a release clause in David De Gea's contract at the moment, which is why Manchester United want to get him to sign a new contract and hire that clause. It is currently around €50 million for Real Madrid, probably, or any other club to come in and sort of say, De Gea, do you want to go? 50 million's around 35, 40 million, probably about 35 million with the exchange rate at the moment. So £35 million will get Real Madrid De Gea if he wants to go back. Of course, they can trigger the clause, but it's down to him whether he wants to go back. Which, if he wants to go back to Madrid, there's nothing, we are powerless. Are we going to let De Gea go for 35 million and then sign Lloris for 40 million? It would be a real sour taste in the mouth if we had to do that. And I think there's better options than Lloris, so he wouldn't be for me. And he also, I know a lot of goalkeepers have got mistakes in him, but I've seen Lloris make quite a few. I think there's better out there, especially at his age. Talking of which, these two we're going to talk about now were head and shoulders the front runners for a replacement for De Gea. So this is what you came up with, and I don't think it'll be too much of a surprise with one of the names. But in at number 2 is Jan Oblak, 6'1", 24 years of age, Slovenian goalkeeper, plays for Atletico Madrid, has arguably been one of the fundamental parts of that rock-solid Atletico Madrid defence over the last few years. A fantastic goalkeeper, and he has the complete package. And also, being 24, he has that potential in the next couple of years, if not already, to be knocking on the door of Neuer and De Gea as one of the best goalkeepers in world football. He is currently one of the best world goalkeepers in world football. He's got absolutely everything. He can save, he comes for crosses, he's got great technique, he's got great agility, he's got good distribution. He ticks every single box apart from one for me, and that is we are after Griezmann from Atletico Madrid. Do we realistically think we're going to get Griezmann and Oblak and even Saul Niguez, some people are on about? They're not going to let that many players go. A lot of Atletico Madrid's future rests on whether Simeone will go, the manager, this summer or not, but I can't see a situation where we would get Oblak and Griezmann. But Manchester United can do anything, and he is. If De Gea went and he came to Manchester United, I would not be unhappy. I'd be unhappy for De Gea to go, obviously, but this is a very, very good goalkeeper, and he would be a very good goalkeeper at Manchester United. Funnily enough, his only real weakness is long shots. He gets beaten quite regularly from long shots, but hey ho, that was De Gea. De Gea used to have that as well. Right, in at number 1, mentioned a lot, probably not a surprise for you, but what do you know about this young lad from Italy called Donnarumma? Absolutely a sensation, and he will ring a few bells here. He is potentially the world's best goalkeeper over the next decade. He's only just turned 18 years of age. He's only just turned 18. He is 6'5". He is already being declared the next Buffon, and Buffon is comfortably the best goalkeeper of the last 2 decades. So what a reputation to have at the moment, and what a future he may well have as the world's best goalkeeper. He ticks a lot of boxes if De Gea goes, because this is exactly what we did, or Sir Alex Ferguson did for Manchester United when he signed De Gea. He signed a keeper that everyone was talking about as being the best goalkeeper in the world in the next few years, and it happened. The risk to that is he's very young, coming into a new league that he doesn't know a lot about. It could all go wrong, but he's got everything. He's got height, which as a keeper is absolutely essential, especially in the British game where you're going to have to come and get crosses, and at 6'5" he's not going to have any problems. But with that height, he's got great agility, he's a good shot stopper. He has got a lot of improvement, he's got a big upward curve. His distribution could be better. There's lots of decision-making issues and things like that, but you would expect that of an 18-year-old goalkeeper. In any other circumstance, I'd be thinking, are we going to replace the world's best goalkeeper, in my mind, with an 18-year-old who may not make it in this league? But we did exactly the same with De Gea, so I can see why a lot of United fans have put this lad at number 1. And to be honest, he probably would be my number 1 choice as well. He has the same agent as Pogba, Mkhitaryan and Zlatan in Mini Raiola. He is the Galactico sort of signing with the marketability that Manchester United seem to want these days. So he's got absolutely everything there for Manchester United to go and do this deal. And I'm not surprised he's in at number 1. So Romero at 5, Pickford at 4, Lloris at 3, Oblak at number 2, and Donnarumma at number 1. Bananarama. Rather than you won't know what I'm on about. But give us your thoughts on that below. If we've not mentioned somebody, are you happy with that 5? Would you have it in a different order? Are you concerned that De Gea could go this summer? And I will leave you with this. There are some things that I think people What do I think? What do I think? My heart says he will stay. My head says he will go. And that's how I feel at the moment. It's up in the air. I could not commit to either way. And I think those fans out there who are saying he's 100% going to stay, I think you might be a little bit burying your head in the sand, because this could happen this summer. And I don't know whether it will or not. What I would say, if he does go, he's been a fantastic player for Manchester United. Over the last 3 years, especially the last two of Van Gaal, how often were we saying, De Gea could stop a meteor, unstoppable, unbreakable, because he was consistently man of the match for Manchester United. This season under Mourinho, we predicted at the start of the season that would stop, and it has stopped. Not because De Gea is any less of a goalkeeper, but because as a team we're more expansive, we're creating more chances, we're not being so defensive, we're not conceding so many chances, so we're not so reliant on De Gea, which the positive is, if there is any positive if he was to leave, and I don't want him to leave, is the fact that if you did replace him with an Oblak, let's say, a decent goalkeeper, we're probably not going to notice a massive amount of difference, because we're not so reliant on that keeper anymore. So, but it's got to be, that's the bottom line. If De Gea was to go, and I don't want him to go, he has to be replaced with as close as you can get to De Gea and Noor, and there isn't anybody at the moment. So as close as we can get, that's the replacement we need to go to, and that's why Donnarumma is probably a good one, because he sort of fits that bill of what Manchester United like, really, that young player who can go on and be one of the best in the world, and we're very good at doing that. So it'd be interesting, but it's all about whether he's going to go or not. Like I say, there's a couple of factors. If Real Madrid want him, they know the release contract's there. Navas has been a mixed bag at Real Madrid, and their president wants him. They want him. It's unfinished business. But also they want the Spanish #1 goalkeeper at Real Madrid. And if De Gea decides to go, I think Manchester United's stance is, we really, really want you to stay, but if you want to go, we're not going to stand in your way. So it's an interesting next few weeks. I think the pace, if Real Madrid are seriously going to go for him, and they get any inclination from De Gea that he wants to go, expecting the press over the next few weeks up until May, it will build and build and build. And it's not nice for us. It's not nice for us when it's a player we want to keep. It's nice when it's Griezmann and it's building and we're thinking, oh yeah, we're going to get him. That's the shoe on the other foot. But when it's your player in your club, you don't want him to go. But interesting. That's your top 5. Get commenting below. Give us your thoughts, and I'll speak to you very soon. It is the United Stand. Please do drop us a like. We're in a different studio. We've not used this one for a long while. So if you do like this sort of content, these top 5s, transfers, whatever, get commenting below. Drop us a like, and I'll speak to you all very soon on the United Stand.